Oh, no, you good. All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Back again with another lesson. Today we're going to be looking at Hebrews chapter 2, just picking up where we left off from last time. And before I do any more talking, brothers and sisters, we got to do the good old mic check. I just want to make sure that the mic is working good. If you guys can hear me, if there's no grainy noise, if there's no in and out sounds, if there's no wind noise, if there's no popping noise or anything of that nature, just go ahead and put a 7 in the chat so I know everything is all good. Because again, I don't know unless I'm told. Because y'all know me, I go 30 minutes with a messed up mic. All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys participating. Let me know everything is all good. With that being said, before I get on to the meat of the lesson, we just ask at this time that you pray for our fellow brothers and sisters. First off, we got brother James Jr. His daughter was diagnosed with leukemia, so we just ask that you guys pray for her and pray for her healing. Being sick in your body is not fun. It's a bad feeling to know that something's wrong inside of your body. And also, brothers and sisters, we ask that you pray for brother Show You Right. He's in the hospital. I guess he had been in the hospital since Wednesday. So we just pray for his healing. We pray that you uplift him in his time of affliction. Because again, being sick, brothers and sisters, is no joke. Being sick sucks. Having an ailment sucks, brothers and sisters. But the Lord said, the prayer of the righteous availeth much. So we ask that, you pray for those two brothers at this time. And it brings me back to 3 John 2:2, and it says, Beloved, this was John, he said, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy what? Thy soul prosper. Which lets you know, even during that time, brothers and sisters, they was going through a lot. A lot of sicknesses in the body, diseases, everything. And you want to know why? It's because we're wearing this wretched flesh. One minute you're feeling good. The next minute you sick as a dog. You don't know what's wrong with you. Even mentally. One day you feeling good. You feel like you could take on the whole world. The next minute you in the darn depression. And you don't know why. What's wrong? I don't know. That's this flesh. This flesh is an affliction. It's brutal. Walking fine one day and then you get up another day, your knees hurting. Like, dog, man, my knees hurting. Because that's this flesh. And this is what we have to be delivered from. We have to be delivered from this flesh, these vile bodies. And that's the day we await, where we get our spiritual body, where we cannot be harmed, where sickness and death has no hold over us. No more aches and pains and headaches and none of that mess. But the most important part of what John said, he says, even as thy soul prospers, or even as thy soul prosper. because that's what's going to deliver you from these vile bodies that we have. If your soul prospers spiritually. Okay. And now, brothers and sisters, I'm pretty sure in the news you guys have been hearing about Iran, Israel, and America. They fighting. Okay. But what I want to let you guys know is that is all a part of God's plan. That is all God's doing. And of course, there's multiple reasons why they're fighting. Number one, America and Israel, they disarming Iran, trying to disarm their little nuclear program or whatnot. But we know that's of God because, brothers and sisters, it ain't time yet. Because you know if Iran gets something, they will blow everybody to smithereens. But the Lord, like, it's not time for that yet because I have to seal my servants. And then on top of that, America, they line they donkey off. See, I'm trying to be nice now. But they line they donkey off to my, yeah, we trying to overthrow the wicked and evil regime that's oppressing the people and over there in Iran. No, what you're trying to do, you trying to get that leadership out of there because you want puppets in there that you place in there to give you access to them resources without putting up a fight. So don't give me this hogwash about you care about the Iranian people being oppressed. Man, stop. No, you want puppets in there that's going to give you easy access to them resources without putting up a fight. And I know because y'all do it to Africa. That's why y'all put them puppets in there in Africa. Hey, just let us come in and get these resources without putting up a fight. This hogwash about they care about the oppressed Iranian people. You don't even care about the people over here.
Right.
It's millions out on the street over here that work, by the way, and on the street. And you worrying about some people way thousands of miles away over there in Iran. Man, sit down. No, man, ain't nobody, but anybody with a brain don't believe that hogwash that America's spewing on their propaganda machine that they call the news. And you got these stupid Americans. I mean, dumb as I don't know what. Just go look on the comment section. They over there celebrating and hooraying. Yeah, our military. First of all, that is not your military. And I'm talking about these white folks. These low, that ain't your military. That's the richest military. The rich, the wealthy, the elite men, that's their stuff. That's their military. The resources that they going to extract from Iran, that's their resources. That's their stuff. They don't care about your behind. You up there hooraying and you hooraying, but then you over here complaining about the price of eggs. Hooraying and then crying about how high these darn property taxes is. You hooraying and then apartment rent is over $2,000 a month.
They're waging war against you every day.
Yeah. You dealing with economic warfare over here and you worried about some warfare going on in Iran. Man, sit down.
And you got our people, some of them be getting caught up in it. You know you need to sit down. These heathens been warring against us.
Yeah.
I like what remember what Muhammad Ali said when they tried to draft him.
Got to worry about some Vietnamese.
Yeah, he said, I'm worried about some Viet Cong. He said, I deal with you every day.
Right. You over here oppressing me.
You my terrorist.
Right. You want me to worry about some other terrorists when you my terrorist. Man, sit down somewhere.
The boogeyman calling somebody else the boogeyman.
Satan trying to tell us how evil the devil is. Man, this stuff, brothers and sisters, it's a whole show. But nevertheless, the Lord is behind all of this because it's not time. Let's go real quick. I didn't plan on going here, but let's go to Revelation 7 real quick. All right. Every now and then I forget to take this stick. Let's take a look at Revelation 7. And I ain't finna be on this all day, brothers and sisters, but I just wanted to mention something. Okay. Revelation 7:1, it says, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth." So these 4 angels, they oversee the nations. Okay. They control the nations. They make sure they're not up to anything. It says, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth. And you know what this wind is, brothers and sisters? This wind is war. Because man, more specifically, these nations, they're ready to destroy each other. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but they are ready to, just obliterate one another, destroying the earth in the process. That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the what? Sea, because all of these things are affected when war breaks out. The earth, which is simply the land. And you know who else is on that land? Israel. It says, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Okay. Now scroll down some. Now here we go. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So the Lord got these 4 angels. He got these watchers that are in charge of releasing World War III upon the earth. That's essentially what they're in charge of. Saying what? Hurt not the earth, or make sure war don't break out between all the nations. Make sure World War III does not happen. Okay. Hurt not the earth, the sea, the trees, till what? We have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead. So you know why World War III has not broken out? Because these Negroes, these black people that scatter all around the earth, they have to be sealed first.
That's right.
So brothers and sisters, all of these wars and rumors of wars that you hear about, it's all surrounding you. It's all surrounding you, because this is all about our redemption. So the Lord saying ain't nothing gonna happen until the servants have been sealed. And we don't know how long that's going to go on, brothers. We don't know that, but God know. And he say, when enough Israelites have been sealed, when I've been fulfilled, when I've been satisfied with the amount of Israelites that's going to be heirs to the kingdom to come, he said, hey, then I'm going to instruct these angels to let war break forth and break out. Because their war is our redemption.
Yes, sir.
Their war is our redemption. Okay. But that's all I wanted to say right there. I didn't want to overextend myself concerning that. So, brothers and sisters, I ain't worried about no Iran, America war, none of that stuff. That's not fair, man. How come America get to have all these nuclear weapons and then they won't let Iran build one? Because it ain't time yet. The angel said, mm-mm. So that angel called for America. He said, come on over here and deal with Iran, because war can't break forth yet. The word of the Lord is still going out, and Israel has to be sealed. That's right, Brother Darren. I hear you on that. Sleeping good at night. Okay, but now we're going to take a look at Hebrews chapter 2, just picking up where we left off from last time. And we're actually going to be taking a look at Hebrews 1 and 14, because that's where we had stopped. But so far, the writer of Hebrews has simply been establishing the superiority of Christ. How Christ is superior to the prophets. How Christ is superior to the angels. And what makes Christ superior? Number one, he's God. And number two, we found out that this Christ, is the one who created the prophets, who created the angels, who we esteem. And so seeing that Christ created them both, we ought to esteem Christ higher than the angels, higher than the prophets. I'm going to go ahead and read Hebrews 1 and 14. It says, are they not all, and when it's saying they, it's talking about these angels, are they not all ministering spirits, meaning servants, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? Sent forth. So these angels are sent forth to serve these Israelites who are called to be what? The sons and daughters of God. So they're servants. They're not rulers or anything of that nature. They are literally here to serve us, to take care of us, to make sure God's plan and his will for us is fulfilled. That's what they're here for. The same angels, they're here to, because a part of them being a minister or serving you is they defend you against the enemy. They bless you in your life. And they also will beat the crap out of you if you cross God. That's what they there for. They're there to bless you, or if you get out of line, they there to put belt to butt. And when your enemies think they gonna do something, them angels is there to do what? Put belt to butt. Because their job is to keep you and to preserve you even from yourself. Their job is to preserve you to life, to make sure you become the sons and the daughters of God. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into Hebrews 2. And when you get there, sister, go ahead with verse 1.
Therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip.
Because remember, and we talked about how in times past, our fathers were given a set of instructions. And their set of instructions was given by the angels to the prophets and to us. And what was those instructions in times past? Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and the judgments if you want what? If you want life. And it was told to us what would happen if we rejected that life, if we refused to pay heed to those instructions. And we are living that today. Now, that's what we were given in times past. But now we are being given instructions by Christ, who is greater than the angels, who is greater than the prophets. And he tells us, listen, if you want to have life, he says, believe on me and walk in love if you want to have life. He said, I know it was said unto you in times past. That's why Christ would say that it was said in times past, because he was fully aware that you were given different instructions in times past. But now God, the CEO, the owner, is coming. He said, I know what your managers told you in the past. I know what your supervisors told you, but I'm telling you that this is what you need to do. Now, who you going to listen to? Just on earth, you going to listen to the CEO or you going to listen to your manager? You going to listen to that CEO. You going to listen to the owner because he owned all of this. It would be no manager, no supervisor if it wasn't for this guy. You see the superiority? Okay. And then it says too, so we need to pay more serious attention to Christ in the instructions that he has given us for life. And remember, this life and this death, brothers and sisters, again, this ain't none of that good boy, good girl Christian stuff, because that's what we had been taught, that life is this, let's play hopscotch. Let's get this chalk and write on the ground, get a piece of candy and go skipping down the street. That is not life, brothers and sisters. No, life is dominion. It's rulership, establishing your government on this earth, ruling over the heathen, taking them captive. That is what God deems to be life. This earth remade in your image, not the image of your enemies like it is not now, but no, the earth made in your image. Everywhere you look around is you. Things are ran by you. Everybody taking their orders from you. You control all the resources. That's what God deems life to be. And Christ is telling you, listen, if you want those things, you need to listen to me. That's what Moses said. Within the times past, Moses say, hey, there's going to come a day where this one like unto me is going to come. And when he comes, you need to listen to him because he's going to be greater than me. In every sense of the word, he's going to be greater than me, and he's going to give y'all some new instructions. And you need, and he said, hear ye him. Now let's go to James 1:22, because it says, lest at any time we should let them slip. Let what slip? The instructions that Christ has given us if we want life. Which he says, what? Believe on me and walk in love, or that is to say, walk in the Spirit. And we're going to see what this means. Let's go ahead and read this James 1:22. Because this goes right along with what the writer of Hebrews is saying when he said, lest at any time we should let them slip. And another way you could say that is lest we fall away. We heard that word in 2 Thessalonians. Lest you fall away and give heed to someone else who ain't Christ. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
But be you doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Okay. Lest at any time we should let them slip. And then above that, it says, giving more earnest heed to the things which we have heard. And so this right here, this is you giving heed right here by being a doer of the word, not only hearing the words of Christ and just shaking your head, yes, saying you believe, but you have to be a doer. And what do I mean? You can't say that You believe in Christ. You believe on him, but then you can't stay out of your neighbor's wife's bed. Every time he go to work, here you come over there messing with his wife. Because if you believe in Christ, you would abstain from fleshly lusts. Because that's not love. You wouldn't want nobody coming over when you're going sleeping with your wife or trying to get with her and messing with her. You wouldn't like that. Well, that's what love is. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because, see, you don't mind doing that. But then when somebody try to do that to your wife, you ready to pull this gun out and blow them away. So why would you do that to your brother? You can't say you believe on Christ and then you are undercover feminist. Listening to all of these women on YouTube, filling your mind up with garbage. Sitting up there at home, not submitting to your husband and trying to run the house. You can't say you believe on Christ and you doing that stuff. At that point, you're just a hearer. Oh, yeah, that sound good. But you're not a doer. You won't change. You can't say that you believe on Christ and then you at home and you a man, you talking crazy to your wife, discouraging her, putting your hands on her. You just a hearer at that point. You can't say you believe on Christ and then you sitting up there showing favoritism to certain members in your church because they giving your church all this money. You just a hearer, but you're not a doer. Because you wouldn't like it if somebody used you for your money. You wouldn't like anybody giving you special attention just because you giving money. Because what happened when I start giving that money? What you gonna hate me now? And that's usually what happened. Despitefully using your brothers and sisters under the guise that you love them, but deep down it's something that they provide and that you like. And that's why you showing them that kindness and that favor. The Bible call that feigned love. It's feigned. We got to stop this foolishness, brothers and sisters. You can't say you believe on Christ and then behind your brothers and sisters' back, you up there dogging them. I can't stand such. They get on my nerves, man. The Lord said you can't be doing that. You don't want nobody talking behind your back. That's a part of what Christ is saying. Walk in the Spirit, showing respect, being kind. Jesus came to set a higher standard. He said, y'all need to come higher. And that's where our people fall short at. They're hearers only, but they're not doers. Yeah, what Christ's saying about walking in love and in spirit, yeah, I mean, that sound good. But when it come down to it, I just don't want to do it because I want to sin. And I know that sin involves hurting my brothers and sisters because that sin, that's my pleasure. And so if I walk in love, I won't get to indulge in my pleasures because my pleasures involve hurting my brothers and sisters. So I really don't want to do that. You can't say that you believe on the Christ. You can't say that you believe on Christ, but then you're intemperate. You ain't got no temperance. Somebody say or do one or two little things to you and you fly off the darn handle. Emotionally unstable. God calls that effeminate. He said, man, I can't have people like that around me. Y'all realize the Lord ain't playing around with that stuff. We having a good time, and here you come. God like, oh, heck no. He said, I got to have Israelites like myself.
That's right.
That's how the Lord get down. All right. But now we're going to go ahead and read verse 2 and 3. So back to Hebrews 2, and we're going to read verses 2 and 3. And when you get there, go ahead.
For if the word spoken by angels was steadfast.
So if the word spoken by angel was steadfast, what word? The instructions that was given to God by them to the prophets, more specifically Moses, for obtaining life. And he said that was what? Steadfast. That was absolute. That's what that word steadfast means. It was absolute. What the angel said, the instructions he got from God to tell Israel, that thing was absolute. Because that was the order. That was the hierarchy at the time, in times past. It was from, the instructions was from God to the angels to Israel. Whether you want to say prophet, the average common man, the priest, high priest, God, angels, man. So that angel, in a sense, was a mediator between God and man. And whatever that angel said, that thing was absolute. Go ahead.
And every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense of reward.
Yep. And so what that angel said was absolute. And when you didn't do what he said, and what did he tell the Israelites to do? Hey, keep the law, statutes, commandments, and the judgments. And these brothers, they don't understand that. Yeah, law, statutes, commandments. Don't forget them judgments now. Because you got to do that too, or you in transgression. But see, you ain't going to do it because you know these heathen will chop your head off. You know that. But in that, you still in transgression. But that's a whole nother lesson, brothers and sisters. Every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense of reward. So when you cross their words, that angel dealt with you. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm telling you, I told you guys about the hierarchy, God, angel to man, is because a lot of times when you looking in the Bible in the time past, when you think it was God and God spoke and God did this and he did that, it was actually that angel. Because in times past, that's who he sent to deal with our people. But today, which is going past time past, he sent his son Christ. He said, all judgment has been committed unto me. That's what Christ said. All judgment have been committed to me. Why? Because in times past, that judgment was given to them, them angels. And it was exercised through the priest, the high priest, and different things of that nature. But that judgment came straight from them. They was on your behind. And we'll see, brothers and sisters. Let's go ahead and go to, because we're going to get to that. Let's go to Exodus 32. Because those angels that got that instruction from God, that thing was absolute. So Exodus 32, let me get there. Okay, so Exodus 32, and we're going to read verse 33 through 35. So I can give y'all an example of what I was talking about. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Whosoever have sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book.
That's right. Verse 34.
Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee.
Okay, go ahead.
Behold, mine angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them.
That's right, because remember, prior to this, Israel had that golden calf made and they was worshiping. They already had broken the covenant. It didn't take long at all. And again, that should be an indicator to you. If they had already broken the covenant, which means death fell on Israel instantly, what was preserving us that whole time, all the way up to Christ coming, his first coming? Grace and mercy. So yeah, you're right. It was always here. It definitely wasn't by your righteousness. No, what preserved us from the time we broke that covenant all the way up to Christ's first coming was that grace and mercy. So you're absolutely right. It always has been here. But that's a whole nother lesson in itself too. Okay. Verse 35.
And the Lord plagued the people, because they made the calf which Aaron made.
And was it the Lord that plagued the people? Yes, it was him that plagued the people, but he did it through who? That angel. All right, let's go to Exodus 3. And then we're going to read verse 1 through 6. We know that God is in charge, but he would, in times past, he would use the angel to deal with Israel, whether it was in blessing or whether it was to put that belt to that behind. Right? We even seen that with during the time of David. When Israel, they was doing evil. So God made David count the people. And David counted the people. And then remember, the Lord gave David 3 options. Because, see, he was trying to get to them wicked Israelites. So he ended up giving David 3 options. He said, you either going to fall in the hands of man, or I got this famine here for you. Or this third option, you can fall in my hand. And guess what? David picked the third option because he know the Lord got some mercy. Well, guess what? The carnage had immediately began. The plague had started. And then when it was over, guess who you seen? That angel. That's who David seen. Nevertheless, it was the Lord, but it was who? The angel. That's who carried out that judgment. Okay. Let me go look at this again. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at Exodus 3, verses 1 through 6. And when you get there, go ahead.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian.
That's right.
And he led the flock to the backside of the desert.
Okay, and we see that was symbolic of Moses leading the children of Israel. Okay, go ahead.
And came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb.
It's crazy how the Lord will have you in training. Before you start your true purpose, he'll oftentimes have you in training, because that's essentially what Moses was doing that whole time. He was in training. He probably didn't know it, but he was in training. But anyway, verse 2.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush.
Because essentially what the angel was in times past, they was the spokesman for God. They talked and they did things on his behalf. But see, we have one greater that is God's spokesman and does things on his behalf, and that's who? Christ. Being greater than the angels, greater than the prophets, because what? He was God. Go ahead, start at the top again.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush.
That's right. So right now we see that we dealing with the angel of the Lord, and it says he appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst or the middle of the bush. Go ahead.
And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
And that lets you know, brothers and sisters, is if God don't want it, your enemies cannot kill you. They can riddle your entire body with bullets and nothing happen. They can set you ablaze. They can put a guillotine to your head. And if God don't want nothing to happen, it won't happen. That's impossible right there, brothers and sisters. The bush burned with fire. The bush was on fire. And the bush was not consumed. Now, didn't that happen with our forefathers? Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah? Wasn't they lit ablaze in the flames when they was pushed into that pit? But they was what? Not consumed. And we know this right here. This served as a sign and a wonder for Moses that the Lord's presence was there and that he was with him. But anyway, verse 3.
And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight.
Especially Israel. You know, they see something like, oh, what is that? Why what?
Why the bush is not burnt.
That's what Nebuchadnezzar looking at. He looking like, what? Now I know I threw these 3 men in here. Why they ain't burned alive? And on top of that, I see a 4th person in there. Because if God don't want something to happen, it ain't gonna happen, brothers and sisters. Everything is bound by his word. That's the power of God. That's what he's been trying to tell us. It's not because you're strong and it's not because you're weak that things are the way they are. No, things are the way they are because of the word of God. Verse 4.
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I.
Okay, but it tells you that God called him out of the middle of the bush. But who do we know it really was? It was that angel. It was that angel of the Lord. Because at this time, that angel was the spokesman or the mediator on behalf of God to man. God called to him out of the midst of the bush, but we know it was that angel. Verse 5.
And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
That's right. Verse 6.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Okay, but we know this was the angel saying all of this on behalf of God. It was that angel that was there. Because remember, them angels, they was in God's presence. And so that presence was on them when they visited. That's why you would see our forefathers get weak or they would faint. Because them angels, they was in the presence of God and they felt that presence, our fathers. But look at this right here, though, because this is what I wanted to get to. It says, and Moses hid his face from who? That angel. For he was afraid to look upon God, but God wasn't there. That angel was. But yet he was afraid to look upon the angel. How much more ought we to show this same fear concerning Christ?
That's right.
Seeing that he is this one that angel was in the presence of. How much more should we fear Christ? Because this angel, he's just a servant. But Christ, he's God. Okay, now back to Hebrews chapter 1, and we're going to read verse 3. And it says, Oh, go ahead.
How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation?
Because you didn't escape when you transgress them laws, statutes, commandments, and the judgments that God had the angel or the angels give to our fathers in times past. You was punished, brothers and sisters, and depending on how severe the transgression was against the word that the angel had gotten from God and had gave to Israel, hey, you was stoned. So the writer is saying, but what about not transgressing Christ? Well, you're going to meet a much worse fate. That's what's being explained here. How shall we escape if we neglect so great a salvation? Meaning, if we neglect these instructions that's been given to us for this salvation, or as we say, for this life we want to obtain. Which means a much worse fate is awaiting you than being stoned or being in captivity. Much worse fate if you neglect Christ and his instructions. Which at what?
Which at the first began to be spoken by the Lord,
Okay.
and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him.
So these instructions first began to be spoken by Christ and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go down to verse 4. Okay, go ahead.
God also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders, and with divers miracles and gifts of the Holy Ghost, according to his own will.
Because these instructions, right, like it say in verse 3, these instructions was confirmed, that God put his stamp of approval on it, basically, was confirmed by what? These signs and these wonders, to let Israel know, yes, I'm in agreement with what's being said. These instructions that's being given, I'm in agreement. I'm with these instructions. And we seen it under the first covenant, right? Instructions was given. I mean, we seen Pharaoh and the Egyptians destroyed, because these was them signs and them wonders. We seen Pharaoh destroyed and the Egyptians destroyed by God. No military in sight. That's a sign. That's a wonder. Okay, we seen the parting of the Red Sea. We seen Israel get fed manna from heaven. We seen Israel drink water from rocks and from trees, and we seen all of that. The parting of the Red Sea. We seen those things. And that was evidence that God was with Moses, that was given these instructions for life. Well, the same with Christ. When Christ came, it was evident that God was with Christ in these instructions that he was given for life, because we seen Christ do what? We seen him turn water into wine. We seen him open the eyes of the blind, give speech to the mute. We seen him cast out devils. We seen him feed the multitude with food and water. We seen all of that. We seen those miracles. And that was supposed to be a sign to our fathers that God was with him and that we ought to listen to him. That's essentially what's being explained right here. And you had read all that?
Yeah.
Okay. 4. And so if we refuse to listen to Christ, we're going to get punished just like our ancestors got punished in the wilderness when they didn't listen. When they didn't listen, belt to behind. And if we don't listen, fire to behind. Let's go to Numbers 14. And we're going to read verse, I know it said 11, but I meant to put 14.
Okay.
Numbers 14, and we're going to read verse 8 through 12. Now this right here, this Numbers 14, 8 through 12, this is Joshua and Caleb talking to the congregation. Because the congregation had another one of them spells of unbelief. They started complaining, started murmuring, and Joshua and Caleb, they dropped to their knees. They couldn't believe the unbelief. It was crazy. On top of the fact that they knew that their unbelief would also affect them. And so they was upset, brothers and sisters. And so they told the congregation, these unbelieving Israelites, what they said.
If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey.
But the key word here is if the Lord delight in us. Not we work our way into the land and we gonna get it by our own works, the land that floweth with milk and honey. No, it's if the Lord delight in us. And the Lord gave us instruction. He said, believe on me. And he said, what? Walk in the spirit, which is to walk in love. Now, brothers and sisters, that's your duty. That's what you're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, it's up to God whether or not he delight in you. You could do everything right and he say, get your black behind out of here. We are at the mercy of God, brothers and sisters. Do you understand that and how serious that is? It's all about if the Lord delighted, you can do everything right and he still give you the boot. You know why he do that? He wants you to beg him for mercy.
That's right.
He wants you to know. He want to dig that self-righteousness out of you. He want to dig all the pride out you. And he wants you to know you are at his mercy. If I delight in you, if I feel that you're okay, then I'll let you in. Not if you feel like you're okay. If I feel like you okay, then I'm going to let you in. I'm just throwing that in there, brothers and sisters. Okay, but Joshua and Caleb, he's saying if the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land. And then what did they say right here in verse 9?
Only rebel not you against the Lord.
Only rebel not against the Lord through what? Your unbelief. Even after you have seen all of these signs, all of these wonders, he say, only rebel ye not against the Lord, neither what?
Neither fear ye the people of the land.
He said, and don't fear the people of the land. Don't let that cause you not to believe in God either. Because you got Israelites that they don't believe in God because they really believe that this fourth beast is in control.
Feared him.
Because they look at the fourth beast as what? Because God said it. They look at the fourth beast as what? Signs and their wonders. So they must be God. Therefore, my fear and my what? Belief is in them. My fear of them is greater than my belief in God. And that's how most of these Israelites are. They believe God to an extent. Neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are what?
Bread for us.
Ain't that's what Israel say? You food. Boy, you food. Caleb and Joshua, they said it first. He say, man, our enemies, he say, man, they food for us. We have no reason to fear these people.
Yeah,
We
that's
gonna
what-
eat them up. They food. It says their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. So the whole time, and I have to say this, brothers and sisters, what was the nation's defense? Because it's right here, brothers and sisters. What was the nation's defense, brothers and sisters? It says their defense was departed from them. What was their defense, brothers and sisters? I just want to know in the chat, what was the nation's defense? Because it say their defense is departed from them. What was their defense? No, that's a good question. What was the defense of the nations that departed from them? That's right, Brother T. Brown. The defense of the nations was the Lord. That was the defense of the nations, and it lets you know because it says their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us.
That's right.
You want to know what? And the Lord is not with them in a sense of how he's with Israel, but no, he's with the nations because he's making sure that they are forwarding his plan, forwarding his will for who? Israel's redemption. So I have to be with these nations to make sure that my plan is being moved forward. Right? Like God, he'll be with America because he's using America to get his will done. Because I have to use them to set the stage. That's what I'm saying. He uses the nations. He's with them so that way they can set the stage for who? For us. Because once the stage is set, the Lord is going to leave them and he will be with us.
That's right.
That's why the Lord says what? Fear them not. Which is also why the Lord too was saying how he was like, listen, don't be trying to overthrow the government and the nations that you're in. You're trying to overthrow these people. He say don't do that because why? He with them. Because he's using them to what? Set the stage for your deliverance. So you're getting in the way of your own deliverance. Get out the way so I can set the stage. And once the stage is set, then I'm going to be with y'all. Once the stage is set, World War III going to happen, and I'm going to be with y'all. Just be patient. All right, go down to verse 10. Okay, go ahead.
But all the congregation bade stone them with stones.
Look at that. Look at that unbelief. And that's that unbelief. They've been told the words of salvation. Because that was Caleb and Joshua. Telling them the words of salvation. Telling them how the Lord can bring us into the land with ease. Just believe on him. That's all God needs you to do. He said that's all they're saying. Just believe on God. And he'll take you to the promised land that's flowing with milk and honey. But instead of believing in God, they what? They stone these servants, these believers of God. And that's how it is today. Those that believe in Christ, it was the same way. We got to get rid of these people trying to tell us about this hope, this great salvation, telling us all we got to do is believe, walk in the spirit. Nah, we got to get rid of these people. You getting in the way of me fearing the heathen. Get out the way of me fearing the heathen. I'm trying to fear them and you in my way. I like it here in Babylon and you sitting up here in my way. I've submitted my hand to Babylon and you up here in my way about what God gonna do. They stoned them with stones. But then what happened?
And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
11.
And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me?
And he said it in times past under Moses, and he's saying it again under Christ. How long will this people provoke me? And what?
And how long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have shewed among them.
After all the things I've done, they still unbelieve. Even Christ, he came with all the miracles, and our people was what? They was unbelieving, and actually put Christ to death. And later putting to death all of those that believe Christ. Because of what? Their unbelief.
That's right.
Says, for all the signs which I have shewed among them. Even these Israelites today, we tell them about Christ, they reject us. They reject Christ. But then they have the nerve to laugh at their ancestors in the wilderness. Man, all they had to do was just believe. They so stupid, because that's the stuff I hear them say. Well, guess what? You stupid for not believing. If that's what you want to say about your ancestors, well, you not believing in Christ, you're stupid. But see, you realize it ain't as easy as you thought it was. All right. Verse 12.
I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them.
Now, this was under the first covenant, brothers and sisters. They didn't believe, and this is what God had in store for them under the first covenant. He says, I will smite them with the pestilence. And what?
Disinherit them.
And what?
And will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they.
So we hearing it for a second time. The first time we heard that in Exodus, but it's being said again. Now, under the first covenant, we broke that. And guess what happened to us? We got disinherited. So aren't we disinherited? So when I tell y'all right now in 2026, we are disinherited, I mean that. That's why you didn't know who you was, what land you came from. You don't know what tribe, none of that. Because what? You was disinherited. But that nation that is going to come forth, that is greater and mightier than that old 12 tribes of Israel, that old unbelieving nation, they're going to be re-inherited. They're going to pick their inheritance back up. And by faith, even right now, those of us that believe on Christ, guess what? By faith, we have picked up our inheritance. We call ourselves what? Israelites. But if you unbelieving, you ain't no Israelite. What you talking about you an Israelite for? And you don't believe. You're still disinherited. Go ahead.
Just to back up what you're saying about that new nation is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9.
You unbelieving, you still a Gentile.
So Peter right here is essentially explaining what we just read over there in Numbers. He says, but you are a chosen generation. Talking about these believers of Christ. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation. That's that greater nation. A peculiar people, that you should shew forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness and to his marvelous light.
We know who that light is.
So this new 12 tribes is this new nation that's being birthed from Christ.
Right.
This new lineage.
And see the new nation, and then too, we know the new nation is of the old nation. because it tell you out of darkness.
Out of dark.
And the old 12 tribes, they were in darkness. But like in Genesis, there would be some that would come into that marvelous light from out of that darkness. So the new nation is of the old. It's them Israelites that believe. They the ones in that light. The rest of them, they still in darkness. They still Gentiles. But the ones that come into that light, come into Christ, they're the Israelites. That's what we're looking at, brothers and sisters. And then too, when you looking at that Numbers 14 in the end of verse 12, when it talk about I'm gonna make a greater and more mightier nation than they, and see, that was simply foreshadowing, and will make of thee a greater and it will make of thee a greater nation and a mightier than they. And the Lord would do that through Christ, through this one that was like unto Moses. So I don't know if y'all see that, but I mean, it don't get you. I mean, if you can't see this, something is wrong, brothers and sisters. But this great and more mightier nation is coming out of who? Christ. Go back up to what let's see what Joshua and Caleb said. Yeah. This greater and more mightier nation, this new 12 tribes of Israel, the Lord delights in them. He gonna bring them into the land that flow with what? Milk and honey. This new 12 tribes, they're not gonna rebel against the Lord. That old 12 tribes that walk in darkness and dwell in darkness, they rebel, but not this new 12 tribes. They not gonna rebel against the land. And let me tell you something else about this new 12 tribes. They have zero fear of the enemy.
That's right.
They don't fear the enemy, the people of the land at all. They know when it's time, God gonna mop the floor with them. They ain't zero fear. Because the new 12 tribes know that what? The fourth beast, they are food for us.
Oh, you say they barbecue chicken.
They barbecue chicken. Put them legs on the grill. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with the new 12 tribes of Israel. That's why we don't fear. It's too good, brothers and sisters, too good. Now, let's go back to Hebrews chapter 2. And now we're going to read verses 5 through 9. So Hebrews 2, verses 5 through 9. Okay. And when we get there, go ahead.
For unto the angels have he not put in subjection the world to come.
Oh, yep. Keep going.
Whereof we speak.
Now it says, to the angels, he have not put into subjection, or he has not put under control the world to come whereof we speak. And remember what I told you, this world to come is not some fluffy, super tall grass everywhere, everybody holding hands, running through the grass, and you playing hopscotch and double dutch. Come on, jump in. No. That's not what that's to my. No, this world to come is to my your government.
That's right.
With people that look like you. You have control over all the resources. Everybody has to answer to you. The world is made after your image. That's this world to come. And the writer of Hebrews saying, hey, this world to come has not been put into the hands of the angels, but put into the hands of the new 12 tribes of the children of Israel. But what?
But one in a certain place testified, saying,
I think, this is David. I believe this is Psalms 8, but we'll get there. Go ahead.
What is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the son of man that thou visitest him?
Who is this man that you decided, God, that you were going to put all of creation into their hands?
Yeah, his charge. He in charge.
Because remember, it ain't going into the hands of the angels. It's going into the hands of men, specifically the new 12 tribes of Israel. And you better believe, boy, Satan, this right here, Satan was furious. I don't want to be what? This right here. I don't want to be no angel. I don't want to be a minister. I don't want to serve. I mean, look how beautiful I am. Look how eloquent and wise I am. I don't want to be an angel. Why I can't be
A ruler.
over the world to come? Why I can't be a ruler? Because God didn't design to be no ruler. He decided you. He created you to be a servant, a minister. And let me tell you, brothers and sisters, I'm happy to do just that.
Serve.
Lord, if I could just hold your cup, if that's all I do, that's it.
Remember, that's what David said in Psalms about. He said, I just hold a dough. I'm just a dough man.
If I'm just a dope man, that's
Remember,
it.
he's a king on earth saying that.
Right.
And in your kingdom, if I can just hold a dough, man.
And Satan, too, it lets you know how ungrateful you are because, man, we fighting and struggling, praying to God. We make it.
And you already.
You already there. All you got to do is keep serving. Man, we fighting, clawing and scratching. And yeah, we get the greater reward, the greater prize, but you there though. That lets you know Satan was crazy. But that lets you know he understood how important that rulership is. He understands you are literally going to be God. Because all the Lord simply is doing, brothers and sisters, is he's replicating himself through us. You literally get to be God. It's just the other two, they're just saying that we're the most high, but you are literally God in every sense of the word. They're just saying, I'm the most high. That's what I was telling y'all last week. It's that thing with Pharaoh and Joseph. You are first but second in command. Anything you say, do, is done.
You know, people got to follow it.
Yeah, only I'm greater than you. Look at that. The Lord was even having us in practice for the stuff that we say. Move this and it be moved. I'm giving y'all my power. I'll let you speak something into existence. Being God. Only person that can override it and is greater is me. Oh, man.
It's good.
Satan, he was furious. He was like, man, what? Because he looking at you could just use us, man. You creating these nasty men, because that's how I view, nasty men. These flesh bodies, weak bodies on flesh and blood.
Kind of reminds me of the prodigal son. How the son at home felt about his brother when he came back. He like, man, I've been here the whole time. You ain't treated me the way you treated him. He done went out and spun up all your money. And just let him sinning and just doing evil. You don't put a ring on his finger. That was that rulership. Put that robe on.
Just mad, boy. But think about it. Satan wanted to be God so bad, wanted to have rulership so bad that he rebelled against God, trying to throw a coup. Because he know that's how great the reward is.
Yes.
He know how special that is to literally be God. To where even the angels are subject to you. All right, now where we at?
Back to
Verse 6.
Wait. Oh, okay. I think we finished that one. You want me to read it again?
Okay, let me see. Yeah, go ahead with this. Yeah, just go ahead and read it all.
But one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that thou visitest him?
That you're going to put all things, all creation under him. You're going to give him the dominion. You're going to give him the rulership. You're going to put in control all things to him. Okay, go ahead.
Thou madest him a little lower than the angels.
Okay, a little lower than the angels. And it's crazy because in this, what we're reading, there's duality. There's duality in this. Now, we know this is talking about Christ, because essentially Christ, he put on this flesh and blood body that we have on. It says, thou madest him a little lower than the angels. And that's what made Christ as well as us. That's what made us a little lower than the angels, is the fact that we had on these inferior bodies. And we experience what? Suffering, affliction. The angels don't experience that. They're immortal beings. They cannot be hurt. They cannot feel that pain and all of those things. They don't go through the things that man go through. But that's what made Christ even greater, is that he came down to experience it. He said, let me visit. Let me experience this thing. I ain't going to just talk from my high horse or from cloud 9. He said, I'm going to come down and experience what man experienced. It says, thou what?
Thou crownedest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands.
But only after he was made a little lower than the angels. So meaning after he suffered, after he felt the afflictions, after he went through the things man went through. And that allowed him to have mercy on man. See, because you don't give a damn when you are higher up and you never been in a position that the bottom man been in. You recklessly decree stuff and you have no mercy because you ain't never been there. But see, the Lord say, let me come down to the bottom barracks. Let me come down among the poor, because he considered man poor in his eyes. Let me come down here among the poor and experience what they experience. And once he experienced, he said, now I know. Now I can have more mercy. Now I can show grace, because I understand, boy, man got it hard. These flesh bodies are ridiculous. They get tired. They feel pain. They get sick. You have to pee, poop. You have to eat. You feel hunger. Christ understood. He said, now I understand the afflictions of man. And that keeps him from being hard on us. And that's why he's so merciful like he is. But somebody that ain't never been there, they pass judgment easily on the poor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, when it says, oh, the Son of Man, that thou visitest him, that reminds me of Luke chapter 1 and 68, where it says, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people. He visited, so that that what you were saying, he came down in the flesh to visit this man among his people.
And Zahar is absolutely right. Now, brothers and sisters, think about how man, they get a little title and they won't even do stuff like this.
Nope.
They won't go. Look at the government. Let's just take the U.S. The rich, wealthy merchants, the government, they don't come down to the level of the poor. And that's why they act the way they act. That's why they recklessly pass laws and they harsh on the people, because they don't know what it's like to pinch a penny. They don't know what it's like to stretch a dollar. They don't know what it feels like for to have no job security and at any time they can be let go. They don't know what that feels like. So they easily pass laws and they show their hatred. They do those things recklessly because, see, they ain't been down there. But the God of, and that's just a man, but the God of all heaven and earth, the possessor, the owner of all heaven and earth, we talking God, he came down. Look at that humility.
Man.
Not no nasty man. He came down and say, I'm going to come down here with the poor and live among them. I'm going to live as the poor. That's what it means when he said he didn't make himself a no great reputation or anything like that. He made himself low when he came down here. He like, okay, so now I know what this feels like. And it also leaves man without excuse.
Yeah.
Because they would have had an excuse. I mean, yeah, Lord, I understand what you're saying, but you ain't never been in the flesh body. You don't know the temptations. You don't know the pain and the suffering. Where the Lord say, well, I was down there. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to get sleepy and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And after that, thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. That works meaning the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
All creation. And we get these things through Christ. But because Christ having put on the flesh, he completed the will of God, which Adam had failed to do. See, Adam through the little Lord and the angels, talking about the flesh and the suffering, Adam, through the weakness of his flesh, gave away the government, gave away the kingdom. But Christ, through that same flesh, through that same weakness, he took back the government.
Yes, sir.
He took back that which Adam gave away. He made right the wrong that Adam did. Okay, that was all of that. We still got more to read.
Let me see. I think I think you're going through to 9.
Oh, okay, yeah, keep reading.
And thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him.
So it says, thou hast put all things under subjection under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put on, because Christ completed the mission that Adam was supposed to complete. Once Christ completed the mission, Christ became what? He became God. We know that he was God before, but it's just an example for us. He had became God once he completed the mission, because that's what was going to happen with Adam. Adam was going to become a God at the end of his training. Because all things was going to get put under his subjection and everything. But instead of all things being put under subjection to Adam, when Adam had sinned, okay, through Eve, when he had sinned, then guess what? All things were put under the subjection of who? Satan. Mm-hmm. And we know Satan is a spiritual being, so we know he couldn't operate in this world. But all things was given unto him, put in his subjection. So who will Satan give it to?
His children.
He gives it to his children. Mm-hmm. That's why you see the fourth beast, all things are put under subjection to them, because they are the children of Satan. That's Satan's children. The fourth beast that we're witnessing right here, and the beast before them, they're Satan's children. All things were put under their subjection, and being under their rule, we suffer. We are destroyed. We are subject to payments. The resources are given to them, because that's what Adam handed over. Well, Christ, he completed Adam's mission. And he took all of those things back from Satan. But here we go right here. It says, but now we see not yet all things put under him. And you know why, brothers and sisters? Because number one, it's a promise. It's a promise. But number two, it's because God is extending his hand to us. He's trying to give us a chance, or I wouldn't even say trying to give us a chance. He's offering us. That's the better word I like to use. He's offering us a chance to rule with him. He's offering us to be joint heirs with him. Hey, just how all things have been put under my feet. Hey, do you want all things put under your feet too? Because I can make it happen. He just waiting on us, brothers and sisters. That's all he doing. And then two, we see not yet all things put under him, because that goes back to that Daniel 7. Go to that Daniel 7 real quick.
Right.
I think it's Daniel 7. Yeah. Okay, well, I won't. Yeah, here you go, right here. This verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, because you know why? Christ has. All things truly are under his feet and it's under subjection. But they have not manifested, because why? The thrones must be cast down.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord has to come back and he has to destroy this fourth beast. Destroy those who have this earth under subjection and the inhabitants under subjection. He has to destroy them. He got to destroy this earth. And once the thrones are cast down, then what? All things will be under Christ's subjection. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're waiting on. And even Christ, he don't know. He waiting on the Father to give him the go ahead. And when he give him the go ahead, he gonna cast the throne down. Because remember, brothers and sisters, this government is being established on the earth. We not going up nowhere.
They say up yonder.
Up yonder. That's stuff that we've been taught. You gonna die, you gonna go to heaven dancing on the streets of gold. Brothers and sisters, that is all a lie. Heaven gonna be right down here on this earth. This is where the kingdom is going to be. The Lord created this earth to be inhabited. Right down here. This is where the Lord is going to set his throne up at. That up there that we call heaven with that gigantic glass, I want y'all to kind of see that as like we're basically lab rats, I'll put it that way, and see that glass is like the scientists on the other end looking.
Yeah, observation.
An observation glass. Mm-hmm. But when it's all said and done, that glass gonna be removed, and both gods, they coming right down here. Because they always meant to come down here. Once those that were meant to become God, that's when he gonna wipe all that away, come right down here. Mm-hmm. But that's all I wanted from that. Because we know in heaven, yeah, Father, Son, yeah, they ruling and stuff. But that's coming right down here. Because that's what was always meant to go down. That was always the plan.
On earth as it is in heaven.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we finished up Hebrews 2.
Gotta do verse 9.
Okay, go ahead with that verse 9.
But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels.
Okay, to my that flesh and blood body. That's how he was made lower. He came down, he suffered, and he died. Go ahead.
for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, by the grace of God, should taste death for every man.
In other words, it's just saying that he was our what? He was our example. He was our full example. Complete the will. You're going to suffer. You're going to be afflicted, but you stay true to the will of God. And guess what? You're going to be crowned with glory and honor. And Christ was the first to do it. And seeing that he was the first to do it, that made him the perfect leader for us. Okay, let me see if I want to go to this Psalms 8 real quick. Let me see. I might skip this. Yeah. Well, let me see. Well, this is a hard one right here. I want to skip this, or do I want to keep this in here? You know what? Let's just go ahead and skip this one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to be redundant. Okay, so back to Hebrews 2, and we're going to read verse 10. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
For it became him, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things,
To my Christ.
and bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings.
Okay, because not only was Christ God, he also humbled himself, came as a man, willing to right the wrongs of Adam, becoming the firstborn from the dead, becoming the Son of God, becoming that perfect example. And so that made him what? Perfect to be the captain over our salvation. And that is to say, to become the captain over the sons of God, because a captain does what? A captain leads. And so Christ basically was the perfect example. That's what it's telling you right here. Through what though? Through sufferings. Because he came down, especially being God. Man, that's some serious humility. Men become supervisors and ain't got no humility.
Yeah, take it to the head.
They take it to the dome.
Mm-hmm.
But Christ, being God, probably humbled himself and suffered, righting the wrong of Adam. Christ was more than deserving of being the captain of our salvation. Okay, now we're going to go down and we're going to read verse 11 through 13. Okay, go ahead.
For both he that sanctifieth and they who are sanctified are all of one.
For he that sanctifieth, who is that sanctifieth? Christ. And they who are sanctified, those who are sanctified are these Israelites who believe. It says, are all one. For which cause what?
He is not ashamed to call them brethren.
Wait, so Christ being God ain't ashamed to call us, flesh and blood, men and women. He's not ashamed to call us family. You want to know why he ain't ashamed to call us family? Because, brothers and sisters, he came in this flesh. And he understood what I was telling y'all. He understood how hard it was. He understood the pains, the sufferings. He understood the temptations. So now he doesn't think lowly of us. That's what we getting at him. He don't think lowly of us. And he didn't before. He's always been merciful. But it's something about when you know.
Yeah, experience.
He experienced. He said, I know now. Therefore, I'm not ashamed because I know the brutalness of the flesh. I know the up and the down days. And not only that, Christ was an Israelite. So when he came, he was subject to payments.
Yep.
Yeah, he had to pay tax, the Roman census and all that went over. Yeah, he did all that. Subject to the Romans, all of that. So Christ, he understand. He said, I know. Meanwhile, you got these fleshly elite men, they think they are the greatest thing that ever graced this earth. And look at how they treat those that are below them. Because, see, they ain't never been there. That's why they say what they say, pass the laws that they pass. Because, see, they've never been down there. But, see, Christ, he been down there. That's what allows him to have mercy and have grace. Now, let's go ahead and read. Well, actually, let's go ahead. You ain't read this either?
Verse 12. Yeah, I haven't read on 12 and 13.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and read verse 12 and 13.
Saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the church will I sing praise unto thee.
In the midst of the church, and we know that church is Israel, but more specifically, the new 12 tribes of Israel. He going to be right among us. Not ashamed to be around us. Not ashamed to be seen with us. Because he know. He understand. Just like the elite, the rich boys, do they want to be caught seen around the poor? Or do they go live off on the island somewhere? They don't even want to be around the poor. They don't even acknowledge poor. They don't even look at them. But not Christ. He say, my people, especially that was once poor, going through all this affliction and pain in the flesh, having to overcome, I'm happy to be among them.
That's right.
I'm happy to be in the midst of them. Just like we're going to be happy to be in the midst of Christ, he going to be happy to be in the midst of us.
So,
because he understands what great lengths it took for us to be in the midst of him. That flesh ain't no joke, brothers and sisters. Verse 13.
and again, I will put my trust in him.
Now this is Christ. And again, I will put my trust in who? The Father. And what?
And again, behold, I and the children which God have given me.
Oh, now wait a minute now. Let's go to Psalms 18, verse 1 through 3. Christ said, I will put my trust in him. To my God, to the Father. Now let's read Psalms 18, verse 1 through 3. And when you get there, go ahead.
I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my strength in whom I will trust. My buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies.
That's right. And there is duality in that. Christ as well as us. So you mean to tell me even Christ got faith? Because he say, I trust in him. Meaning what? He trusts in the Father. He trusts in God. So even he got faith. So he ain't telling us to do nothing he ain't doing. He got faith in the plan. He got faith in the will of the Father. And he say, I know when it's all said and done, all things will be put under subjection to me, which is equivalent of being saved from your enemies. Because in order for your enemies In order for you to get rid of your enemies have to be destroyed. They have to be brought low. They have to be put in subject to you, because that's how it go, brothers. So either you're subject to somebody or somebody is subject to you. That's how it works. Either you're subject to somebody or somebody is subject to you. Either somebody is ruling or you're being ruled over, or you're ruling and you're ruling over someone else. That's how this thing works. Okay, but now back to Hebrews 2, and we're going to read verse 14 through 16. We are almost done, brothers and sisters, 14 through 16. And when you get there, go ahead.
For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood.
That's right. Meaning before we become the sons and daughters of God, we first had to partake in what? These flesh and blood bodies, endure pain, sufferings, and affliction. What?
He also
Christ
himself
also himself did what?
likewise took part of the same,
That's right.
that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil.
And remember that go back to what I was saying. Christ had came to right the wrong of Adam, because even though we are both Christ as well as us, we're partakers of the flesh and blood. Christ knew that we weren't perfect though. Christ knew I'm the only one that can do it. I'm the only one that can fulfill the plan of God. And he partook in the flesh and blood, and he wrote the wrong of Adam, because through the weakness of the flesh, Adam gave away the government to Satan, and Satan gave it to his children. But through the weakness of the flesh, Christ, he took back that government from Satan, and now he's going to give it to what? His children. Man, this is beautiful. Okay, that he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. Okay, 15.
And deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage.
That's right, because remember when that government went over to Satan, guess what? He put his children in power, and we had been suffering ever since, being in bondage to wicked and evil men and women. That's why you see evil and wickedness. It seems like you a bad person, you prosper and all that, because Satan was given that government, and he blesses what? His children. Well, that thing flipping, they're going to be the outcasts. They going to get their butt beat, and Christ is going to bless us, those that Israelites that believe what? His children. All right. Just make sure I ain't going over. Okay, 15. Well, 16, we just read that.
I had a jewel.
Oh, you got something you want to drop? Oh, okay.
Because it said right there that that he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. And a lot of times we think he just, we think of that. What they call the death? God.
Oh, you think of the Grim Reaper?
Yeah, like the Grim Reaper or something like that. But no, this relates to having government, because in government, rulers they have the power to say who is going to live and who is going to die. And we see that in Daniel chapter 5 and verse 18 and 19. It says, O thou king, the most high God gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom and majesty and glory and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, languages trembled and feared before him.
That's
See
right.
that fear?
That's right.
Fear of death. And feared before him, whom he would, he slew. That's that death. And whom he would, he kept alive. And whom he would, he set up. And whom he would, he put down.
Man.
And so when it's talking about that power of death is given to the devil, that goes back to him. He had received that government and that dominion, and with that comes that power. The power to, I could keep this group alive, I keep this group, put this group to death, and those who are the children of light, we are the ones that he want to put to death in his kingdom.
That's right. And you're right too about that death as well, because when you look at it, even the fourth beast, even when it comes to a nation, they got that power to impoverish a nation, and they have the power to enrich that nation.
Right.
Like, remember when Haiti rebelled? Haiti is impoverished because they see too. Because they have the government.
So I just want to bring that out because, in Christianity, they don't explain that. They just say, he just got the power to death.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was
tied to dominion.
Exactly. And that's what I was telling you guys about that life. Life ain't this fuzzy stuff. You playing hopscotch, big, tall, green grass, everybody holding hands, walking, giving each other candy, running down the street. No, brothers, this is what we've been saying. This is all government. Really, when you're looking at that Bible, brothers and sisters, it's not a religious book. It's been sensationalized.
Yeah.
No, this book, it's a government book. It's a government book. All right. Now, verse 16.
For verily he took not on him the nature of angels.
So when Christ, when he came down, he didn't take on the nature of angels, meaning he didn't give himself any advantages. He took on the full blunt of the flesh and blood. And what?
But he took on him the seed of Abraham.
And not only that, not only did he take on the flesh and blood, he came as an Israelite. Okay? Israelites, we know at the time, especially the time he came, they were captives. They were under subjection. They was under Roman occupation. They was under some hard times. Well, Christ came, he experienced all of that. Not only that, he experienced the council, and he was also crucified. So he experienced it all, brothers and sisters. Okay, well, let me take a look at this now. Make sure I'm doing what's right. Okay. Let's see if I want to go here real quick. Let me take a look. Nah, because I'll just be redundant. All right, now, let's go ahead and read verse 17 and 18, brothers and sisters, and we will be finished. Okay, verse 17.
Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
That's right. Or that is to say, experience what his brothers experienced, because in doing so, he would have an understanding of what it was like to be in that weak flesh and blood, to suffer and go through the temptations. That what?
That he might be a merciful and faithful high priest.
See, it ain't until you in the position of the low that you understand that you can be merciful. It ain't until you is in that position. It says, and a what? Faithful high priest.
Oh, high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
That's right. And, well, hold on. Let me see if I want to explain something that might be in the next chapter. Yeah, I'm going to wait to explain that. Nah, let me just go ahead and say a little bit of it. But it says that he might be a merciful and a faithful high priest. And see, brothers and sisters, this right here. Well, you know what? Let's just keep reading. I don't want to explain that just yet, because that's in some chapters to come. Okay, go ahead, 18.
For in that he himself have suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that
Help
are them that are tempted.
That's right. Because he's experienced what man has experienced, being in that flesh and blood, being in that low state that's described as being a little lower than the angels. But that is it, brothers and sisters. Man, that was a lot. There is so much, man, that you can get out of these verses. I mean, you can take these verses so many ways. So trying to stay centered, it'd be a difficult task, because you could take these verses so many different ways. But I hope you guys got some understanding. Again, don't just look at this video. Make sure you open your Bibles up on your own time, and make sure you go through these verses on your own, so that way you can get a greater understanding. And that way you can explain these scriptures if somebody ever asks you about it. Because watching somebody do a lesson on something and reading the Bible is two totally different things. So just do your due diligence and always make time to get your studies in. And that is all I got for you, brothers and sisters. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. And God willing, we will see you next week.